The Moors were a group of Muslim people who originated from North Africa, primarily the Berber people, with some Arab and Black African influence. The term Moor was originally used by the Romans to describe the people of the Roman province of Mauritania, which was covered by parts of modern-day Morocco and Algeria. The rise of Islam in the 7th century AD led to the spread of Islamic civilization throughout the Middle East and North Africa. By the 8th century AD, Muslim armies have conquered much of the Iberian Peninsula, modern-day Spain and Portugal, establishing the Islamic state of Al-Andalus. Under the Moorish rule, Al-Andalus became a center of Islamic civilization in Europe. The Moors introduced new crops and irrigation techniques, built impressive architectural marvels, and made significant intellectual contribution in the fields such as science, medicine, and philosophy. The Moors were also known for their tolerance and willingness to work with people of other religions and cultures. Christians and Jews living under Moorish rule were generally allowed to practice their religion freely, and many Christians and Jews held prominent positions in the Moorish society. The Moors arrived in Spain in 711 AD when a Berber general named Tariq ibn Ziyad led an army across the Strait of Gibraltar and defeated a Visigoth king of Spain. Over the next several centuries, the Moors established a powerful Islamic civilization in Spain, known as Al-Andalus. Under Moorish rule, Spain experienced a period of great prosperity and cultural flourishing. The Moors introduced new techniques that helped to increase agricultural production, along with many impressive structures. They built the Al-Haram Palace in Granada and the Great Mosque in Cordoba. The philosopher Averroes was a prominent figure in the Moorish court of Cordoba, and made significant contributions to the study of Aristotle's work. The relationship between the Moors and the Christian kingdoms of Spain was complex and often marked by conflict. The Reconquista, a centuries-long period of Christian reconquest of Spain, began in the 11th century and eventually led to the expulsion of the Moors from Spain in 1492. Despite their expulsion, the influence of the Moors on Spanish culture and society remained. Moorish architecture and design can be seen in many parts of Spain, and the Arabic language and culture left a lasting impact on the Spanish language and its literature. The Moors leave a controversial legacy on the Iberian Peninsula, some positive, some negative. Positives. The Moors' contribution to science, medicine, architecture, philosophy, and other fields. They preserved and expanded upon the knowledge of the ancient Greek, Roman, and Persian civilizations, and their discoveries and innovation had a long-lasting impact on Europe's civilization. The Moors established a rich and sophisticated Islamic civilization in Spain and Portugal, which was marked by a high degree of cultural tolerance and religious freedom. Christians and Jews were generally allowed to practice their religions freely, and many of them held prominent positions in Moorish society. The Moors developed advanced agricultural techniques such as irrigation and terracing, which helped to increase crop yields and support the growth of their civilization. They also introduced new crops, such as citrus fruits and sugar cane, to Europe. Negatives. The Moors were a conquering force, and their expansion into Europe led to conflicts with the existing Christian kingdoms. The Reconquista, a century-long period of Christian reconquest of Spain, was marked by numerous battles and skirmishes between the Moors and the Christian kingdoms. While the Moors were generally tolerant of other religions, there were instances of religious persecution and discrimination among non-Muslims, especially during periods of political instability. The Moors were also involved in the trans-Sahara slave trade, in which they enslaved and sold black Africans to other parts of the Islamic world. The Moors were a complex civilization with a mix of positive and negative aspects. While they made significant contributions to the field of science, agriculture, and culture, They also engaged in conquest and conflict and were involved in the slave trade.